Hello and welcome to Flippin Through, the internet's #1 Mad Magazine news, review, and interview channel. Now, this is the second time I am setting up this video, or trying to record this video. I had it all ready to go. I posted it on July 4th, and I don't know, something was screwed up with the sound, and I was unable to, nobody could hear what I said. So, unlike previous videos, I've actually flipped through this one already. This is an all new recording. But I'm going to do it again anyway, and I think it'll be just fine. But this is Mad Magazine issue 181, released March 1976. And this is Mad salutes the bicentennial year. 1776, isn't that when we declared independence? And so, yeah, it's 200 years from that, the bicentennial year. And here we have the Mad Magazine spoofing the famous picture of George Washington by some guy, I forget. But on here you see there is this note from George Washington, and it says, "Dear Mr. Stewart, I really do not believe this to be a good likeness of me. It would best remain unfinished. G. Washington." Now, here's something that I admire about this, and that is the use of the long S. So if you know about, I guess, cursive or like printing, there's like this kind of antiquated letter, which was the long S, and it's when the S would be written almost like an F. And you see it in printing a lot, not handwriting, like printing press printing, and where it actually looks like the letter F, and they put that in. Anyway, I forgot the most important part. Our price, 50 cents, which is indeed cheap. So I like that they included the long S. They know what they're talking about. Look at this. I didn't notice this. I think I did this. The cover is partially ripped away, which is like, I hate that. Now I need to get a new copy of this. Here we have the vital features. We have Roller Brawl, some great poems rewritten, exciting abbreviations for non-glamorous jobs, the AEN University hard sell catalog, historical scenes we'd like to see, and finally, if TV commercials told us everything. Here we have also the Mad Super Special advertising the nostalgic Mad. This issue, I believe, among the Super Specials that I bought recently. I showed off the one that came with the record, but among them, I also have these, which come with a reprint of the comic-sized Mad magazines. And I believe, I haven't really looked at it, they are facsimile editions. So everything on the interior is copied exactly. On the cover, they've done changes, like they cross out 10 cents and they insert free. Because, I don't know, I don't know why they did that. But anyway, so it's pretty cool, and I think I might do one of those pretty soon. So going through here, I want to zoom in on this with a lovely picture of the stewardess Al Jaffe. Jeez, I got to be careful because I'm going to totally rip this cover off completely. This letter comes from Peter Steinis from Marina Del Rey, California. I was on a no-frills flight, no choice, eating a no-frills meal, no taste, reading your no-frills magazine, no laughs, when I succumbed to a no-frills sleep, no pillow. I awoke in a sweat and thought I saw Al Jaffe as a flight attendant. Tell me, was that just a no-frills nightmare? We have Jaffe has many ways of sneaking on board. Look at him. Look at those legs on Jaffe. Holy smokes. He's still got it. He's still got it. Oh, that's right. I'm glad I caught this. So, this is important, and by important I mean like a legal requirement of magazines. We have the Statement of Ownership, Management, and Circulation. So this is something that magazines or periodicals had to do. I don't know. I believe it extended to even comic books. I think I've seen some of these in old comic books too. I could be mistaken though. It could be me misremembering. But what's most interesting about it is this thing right down here, because all of that is just sort of stuff about, who publishes the magazine and, where they are and all of that stuff. But this I thought was pretty cool. So 11, extent and nature of circulation. I actually have to, it's so small and I can't get close. So I'm actually looking at my monitor right now. The average number of copies each issue during the preceding 12 months. So all of these are all average numbers. And that in this column, it's average numbers. And on this column, it's the latest issue. They don't say it, but the latest issue that that was published before they filed this paperwork. So their average print run was 2,793,996. That's a lot. I don't know what that is compared to other magazines at the time. Speaking of, I would say Time magazine probably had one that was significantly larger. Their print runs were probably just magnitudes larger. Paid circulation, sales through dealers, carriers, street vendors, and counter sales. So if you go into Walmart, not Walmart, like Walgreens, well, I guess Walmart, like a department store, a corner store, a newsstand, anything like that, comic book shop, and you pick one up, like about, over half, I guess, like 2/3 of those books are going to those places. The subscriptions, mail subscriptions, 129,480. That's, I don't know. I mean, I guess it surprises me, but also not. I don't know. It's just that the difference between those two numbers is so huge. I just find that kind of interesting. Total paid circulation, 1,928,000. And that's that one and that one added together. But then it's, here we go. Oh, yeah. Free distribution. And I think that the free ones are like people who are on the comp list. So there are 65 people that just get an issue of Mad Magazine for free, basically. And a lot of times artists and writers, I know for like DC Comics, they still have a comp list. And I think they might have like levels of it. So if you're like a real big shot, you might get all of them. Every single thing that DC Comics puts out, you'll get a copy of. And it'll come once a month in a big box. Otherwise, you might get like certain books comped to you. I think that that's what this is. Total distribution, 1,928,204. Copies not distributed. Maybe like going into the, what do you call it? The vault. Now, returns from newsagents. This is, I mean, it's less than a third, but it's a pretty big chunk. So in case you are curious, a lot of times you might find old comics. Hold on, I have to reach and grab something. You might find old comics without a cover on them. And the reason for that is not because whoever you're buying it from as a kid didn't take care of their books. It's because they probably got them for free. So like back in the day for like this, I don't know why I have this handy. What the news person does is the person at the newsstand, I couldn't sell Marge's Tubby. It says November, December. I got to get this off my newsstand. The new one's coming in. They would take the cover, they would rip it off, and they would send it back in to the distributor. Then the distributor would give them a credit on their account. So, I mean, like around, I mean, this is like super rough math. It's 865,192. We're getting refunded. So So that's kind of interesting. I don't know how often they did this, if it was monthly or not. No, it's not monthly. I'm sorry. If it's yearly or semi-annually, or, I'm not really sure. I think it would be a lot of fun, though, to try to find all of these and look at the circulation numbers and all of that over the years. Yeah, I would be interested in reading that. So here we have Roller Brawl, which is artist Angelo Torres, written by Stan Hart. Sort of like this, I mean, I guess I look at it now as like just sort of like this B movie almost. I mean, maybe it was a lot bigger than I consider it, but it certainly didn't have much staying power. You know, there's a lot of movies of that time, of this era. What is it? 1976, that had a lot more impact on the world than Rollerball did. But I guess this is the time when like people thought that the roller derby was the sport of the future. It's James Caan, right? Isn't that James Caan? Maybe I'm getting the name wrong, but it was the guy who played the brother in the older brother in Godfather, right? I think so. Yes, I think so. This is a super long one. This is like one of the longest, spoofs ever. So here we go. Great poems rewritten. 2 guesses as to who wrote this. Of course, Frank Jacobs, with artist Paul Coker. Let's see if okay. We have Abdul Bulbul Amir. I don't know that one. You Are Old, Father William. Don't know that one. Kubla Khan. I think I know that one. The Village Blacksmith. I know this is Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Oh, Captain, My Captain. Isn't that? That's somebody with one of those like really fancy names, like that was somebody like who's. I lost my train of thought. My kid just walked in and started yelling at me. I forget. My Last Duchess, The Raven. We, of course, know that one. That's Edgar Allan Poe. Who am I thinking of this? Oh, yeah, like Alfred Lord Tennyson or something. That's what I was thinking. That's the one I want to read, though. So let's look. Can I get this zoomed in properly? Oh, Captain, my Captain. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Our graft has run its course. I hear the new commissioner is shaking up the force. Just yesterday, McSweeney was dismissed for taking bribes. I fear that you and I are next. I do not like the vibes. Oh, Captain, my Captain, we soon will feel the heat. They nabbed Lieutenant Harrigan, and now he pounds a beat. They've thrown the book at Sergeant Hicks for fencing stolen goods, and Swenson's turning in his bad for shaking down 2 hoods. Oh, Captain, my Captain, I fear we are dead ducks. A Broadway pimp's confessed he slipped us $700. We now must pay the penalty. To trial will be brought. Let's hope we get Judge Patterson. I hear he can be bought. What a good choice of poem in this time of maybe like police corruption and misdeeds. Oh, Captain, my Captain, rewritten by Frank Jacobs. He is a talent, Frank Jacobs. I want to talk to Frank Jacobs. If anybody knows Frank Jacobs, let me know, pretty please. So one fine day downtown. Look at this guy walking his poor mutt. Boom, right into a pole. Oh, no wonder. The poor pooches. Why does this cat look like a human? Why does Don Martin's cat look more like a person than Don Martin's person? I like that suit, though. Oh, lighter side of. No, thank you. No, thank you. MAD's first and probably last reader survey. This is one that I enjoyed. I actually took a picture of this, and I tweeted it out to, what's-his-face, the author of this, Dick DiBartolo. So I mean, this happens in a lot of magazines. Comic books still do this a lot, especially like independent ones. They'll do these like little surveys, and most of the time they really get just like kind of random in their questions. So, how did you first hear about Mad Magazine? From a friend, a relative, a stranger, a strange friend or relative, or other? I'd say a strange relative, Uncle Mo. He told me about it. How do you rate the contents of Mad Magazine? Excellent, really excellent, truly excellent, really truly excellent, or all of the above? I'm going to say truly excellent because that's the last one that sounds sincere. What is the population of the town or city in which you live? That's a good question. I don't know. 300,000? No, because I live in a suburb, so it's probably like, I don't know, 60,000 or something. How do you rate the effectiveness of the police? The police force in your town or city. I live right outside of Minneapolis, and I grew up in Minneapolis, so I'm not going to answer that one. What are your hobbies? Flipping through Mad Magazine. Do you collect stamps, rare coins, or anything else? Please give details. That's interesting. What kind of car do you drive? What year and model is it? Where do you keep the keys for? What do they want to know? What are the names of the banks where you keep your money? Signed your name here. Strange, but okay. What valuable electronic equipment or other expensive things do you own? I love this. Like now, looking at it in 2020, a color TV, a black and white TV, stereo system, tape recorder, portable radio, binoculars, wristwatch, digital calculator. There was a time when a digital calculator was a very expensive thing. There was a time when a digital watch was a very expensive thing. Like when they first came out. And I remember, I think Rolex made a digital watch. Yeah, I think so. Somebody correct me on that. Do you live alone? When are you out? When do you go on vacation? How much cash do you keep in your home or apartment? None. I bury it all. Exactly where in your home or apartment do you keep it? What kind of lock do you have on your door? Place your key in the box and trace the outline of it. Thank you very much for your help. Please notify us if you move, if you change your working hours, or if you make any changes to your vacation plans. I loved that. I absolutely loved that. And here we have energy-saving devices, which reminds me, this is artist Bob Clark and writer Paul Peter Porges, which kind of surprised me. I always felt that Paul Peter Porges was more of a later addition to Mad Magazine, and he has a very, very distinct style of art. But this is him just as a writer. I thought it was pretty cool because it's also a throwback with these like wacky inventions to things like that Al Jaffe had written in the past, like solutions to smoking or automobile inventions. And I always got such a kick out of that. And Bob Clark did a fantastic job on these illustrations. So here we have the windmill powered pencil sharpener. I love this, the self-generating electric guitar, except this is my gripe. We have so he pedals this, right? The chain is attached to like a generator or an alternator or something. But then electricity goes out, up, and then into the Bob, a cursory glance at an electric guitar, an amplifier would tell you that it goes from the speaker to the guitar. I can't stay mad at him. This is one of my favorites. The solar energized cordless hot comb. This was my absolute favorite. And so look at, you can change it from hot to medium to cool. And if you go all the way down, it just turns it right off. Yeah, I loved that. The collection of paired Mad Thick and Thin books. I'm not going to go over this, but this is very funny because this is it either takes this like a book that was written and then also applies that to somebody where it's completely does not fit for them, or it turns it into a bit of an insult for another person, and or they like invert the title and give it to another person. I guess I'll do this. A Way with Words by Howard Cosell. Howard Cosell is a sports broadcaster, and he was very entertaining and very well spoken. And I mean, he could talk nonstop for a long time. And then A Way with Words by Yogi Berra. Yogi Berra famously coined many terms, and I think the one that people probably most might recognize most readily is "It ain't over till it's over." And so Yogi Berra had a way with words, but it was always this kind of like strange, like maybe circular logic or things that sort of were redundant, right? It's not over till it's over is, I mean, obviously that's true, but there's like this meaning within it that's like, hey, don't give up. It's not over until it's over. But on its face, it almost seems moronic, some of the things he says. Anyway, Jan Van Wessem. This I thought was really cool. It's like 3 pages dedicated to this Dutch artist. And I think Jan Van Wessem had some other stuff in Mad Magazine, maybe as a writer. But it wasn't like this, this person didn't become part of the usual gang of idiots, like on an ongoing basis. But they're like these really cool visual gags, like this guy cracking the safe and that little spool is like a jack-in-the-box that pops out and knocks him cold. He has a little lump on there. Or, here's a day at the races, and the woman is staring at this horse who's wearing the same pattern outfit that she is. So I thought a lot of these are pretty good. It's interesting though to see, because this person is like, it's a very distinct style of art. It's maybe not one that's exactly my favorite, but it's interesting to see the storytelling that this person has versus somebody like Sergio Aragonés, who has mastered that like wordless storytelling. And I'll say like, I mean, I guess like this one, you sort of have to like, it took me a minute to get this, right? Is that it was not immediately apparent. This one, right? So this is Gag Writer. And so like he keeps inviting people in, and then finally he has folks to help him lift up the bookcase that fell. And so I guess like now, like everybody thought he was joking, right? But I mean, it's not immediately apparent. And like, when you're telling a story without words, it has to be immediately apparent. Like this one's great. He's a thief. He gets it, and then he gets knocked out cold. So, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool, but yeah, it was just illuminating, and it sort of made me appreciate even more how good, Aragonés, or like the guy like Porges is at doing like spy versus spy stuff. So so this is like just a gag about how all jobs have their own vernacular, and they'll just sort of abbreviate things in like to excessive amounts. So for teachers, looks like a tough year. My class consists of 7 FLWUs, 6 PGs, 4 PMs, and a KWR who's sure to wind up in the SR. You're lucky. You're only teaching PK. So 7 4-letter word users. Oh, golly. They're saying the shit word. 6 PGs, psychotic goons. 4 professional muggers. And a KW... Uh, I don't know if I can say. And one of them is a knife-wielding rapist who's sure to wind up in the state reformatory. And she says, well, you're lucky because you're only teaching pre-kindergarten. So it's been like a week since I attempted to film this, and I kind of forgot. There's a lot of, like, this issue gets even more inflammatory, and I kind of forgot about that. Here's the Alfred E. Newman University Competitive Hard Sell 1976 catalog. And here we have photographer Irving Schild. That's a name that I always forget. I need to like write it down because he was the primary, if not only, photographer that worked for Mad Magazine. I can't imagine he was the only one. But the writer is Frank Jacobs, and the idea was by David Regan. And so this is like one of those things that Mad Magazine was always really good at, and that is doing like a complete magazine or like pamphlet and making fun of the entire thing. And I wish they would do that more because they were really, really good at it. I guess, well, like more. It's kind of all over. But discover the secrets of the ancients, Archimedes, Pythagoras, and Euclid. Dr. Ezra Muldoon, 52 years, teaching world lit and still going strong. Thrill to the lectures of a living legend. This guy looks like a model for Uncle Sam. Anyway, I'm just gonna. It's like one of those things where you have to sort of read the whole thing, and I don't have the time to like go through and read the entire thing. But, all right, yeah. So this is historical scenes that we reenacted for America's bicentennial celebration. And so we have Washington crossing the Delaware. We have Paul Revere's famous ride, stuck in traffic, singing the signing of the Declaration of Independence. That's the life right there with the air conditioning going. Historical scenes we like to see reenacted. I'm not sure I would like to see all of these reenacted. The first mafioso crossing the Atlantic. That's funny. That's acceptable still. To make fun of Italian Americans. I cannot. Okay. So, like, there's this thing that happens a lot in comedy where, sometimes when people are trying to, they do something in a way to shed light on the absurdity of something. Now, this is doing that, where they're shedding the light on the absurdity of selling another person, and also of racism in general. That being said, I cannot read that. I cannot read it. It's because it's, I mean, even now, it's a sort of things that were done with the best intention are now viewed by people as equally reprehensible as the thing that they're making fun of. And so this whole article is good if you can appreciate that type of humor, I will say. So if you appreciate that type of humor, this part you are going to love it. Now here we go. That's about it that I'm going to say. I don't want to say something that I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. Not that it matters. I get like 50 views, right? And I think most of the people that watch my videos enjoy them and enjoy the type of humor that Mad Magazine provides. But the cockroach, this talking about great visual storytelling. We see that scoots in. Oh, Seymour. Look at, there's the thing. He sprays for it, and boom, they all come piling out. Now, does this require a whole page? Probably not. It's like, Sergio, come on, we're paying you a good rate. Give us two stories about bugs in this page. If TV commercials told us everything, what they tell us, no place in the world. Here, I'm going to actually zoom in on this so that no place in the world except on United Airlines can first-class passengers enjoy watching exciting National Hockey League highlights as they fly from New York to Los Angeles. And no place in the world can you dine on prime roast beef that compares to that served in the first-class section of United's coast-to-coast flights. Of course, United's first-class fare is $257 compared with only $182 in coach. So, like I said, there's no place in the world where you can pay $75 to get a dish of roast beef and a rerun of an old hockey game. I love this. This is like one of my favorite things about Mad Magazine is pointing out like this kind of horrible practices of advertising. What else? Oh, here we go. Look at this guy. This is a Dick DiBartolo lookalike right there. Let's zoom in on him. Listen to what these... Oh, I got to zoom out a little bit. Listen to what these top TV engineers have to say about the great new RZA color set. Here on NBC's soft female police person, our TV control room monitors are all RZA color sets. We never use any other kind. Here on the set of NBC's Chico and the Bigot, our studio audience sees all the action on RZA color sets. RZA is the only brand we ever use. There's plenty of excitement on NBC's Rockford nail files as we watch it all on RZA color sets that the network provides for our private screenings. The part they leave out. These testimonials can sound mighty convincing unless you happen to notice that the engineers we just interviewed all work for NBC, which is owned by RZA. So what equipment would you expect them to use? That's I know the term for that. That term, I learned it from the television show 30 Rock. The term is vertical integration. And I thank Alec Baldwin for teaching me that. Here we have another lovely fold-in. And another cartoon that I can't read. Oh yeah, and here we go. City plates. Hey, where is this photo taken? Was this taken in Minneapolis? In Seattle? In New York City? It could be all of them. Help. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry that I didn't have the video up last Saturday. Again, had these terrible things. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like, leave a comment, share it with somebody you like. If you hated it, share it with somebody that you don't like. And with that, toodaloo.